Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Can't wait to get into today's Wellness and Weight Loss Wednesday topic, which is going to be about the herbs that ease menopausal symptoms. I wanted to share this with you because the other day we were relaxing on the couch and my wife got an alert on her iPhone that Apple News loves to push you Apple News based topics, was sharing an article about menopause and menopausal based retreats. So I wanted to share that with you here today in some of what I call the bad science of what is published oftentimes in the media. And we have to keep in mind that the media is bought and paid for. I've said this many times and people sometimes get upset about it. But again, you can be upset about it and I'm okay with that. But most people are only upset about it because it's creating a cognitive dissonance that they know is correct, but they don't want to give up their old beliefs, right? So a cognitive dissonance is you hear something that goes against your current beliefs and you can't believe it's true because that would change your whole paradigm of how you look at life. But nevertheless, it's still true. So the majority, so I've shared this before, 75% of all the FDA's funding is paid for by Big Pharma. I mean, 75% of all the funding for the organization that approves drugs is paid for by the drug company. That seems like a conflict of interest. Okay, the next one is the majority of the advertising for a lot of your favorite news-based outlets is paid for by drug companies. So even though the drug company may not be like, hey, don't say anything bad about drug companies or publish this material that makes drug companies look good, they don't have to say that. Because if they ever did it otherwise, they would lose their largest sponsors. If they lose their largest sponsors, they can't pay for their organization. And that goes away. That is how it works, right? So, and again, I've shared that on just yesterday's show. There's big tech, there's big pharma, and there's big food. And so again, you have to keep in mind, well, that big food is all the processed food you see, all the cereal commercials for your kids, the Pop-Tarts, all of these different things. Those aren't paid for by small health food-based organizations. No, they're not paid for that. They're paid for by the big organizations like the Mars-based companies, et cetera. So when I saw this article, I wasn't surprised. The problem is that this one was published in the Wall Street Journal, which I think is supposed to be fairly independent. Now, keep in mind, I don't read any of them, any news organization, so please don't try to pin me into one specific category, but because I'm not. I look at all things, I look at it from an unbiased perspective. Even if I come in with my own bias, I said, I'm willing to keep an open mind. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to learn. Like, that's the thing, because that's also the fun part about life. I don't have to stay locked into one specific thing. But here it is. It's on menopause, and it's basically talking about celebrities, but also everyday people going to different retreat centers to be able to find comfort and be able to find balance as they're going through menopause and experiencing symptoms such as bloating or dry skin or vaginal dryness or lower libido or hot flashes or weight gain or irritability and low mood, thinning hair. So women are looking for, and men as well, there's also something called andropause, but women I've just seen are much more open to natural health-based concepts. So there's been a lot of, let's call them resorts or different places. I'm going to name a few. I just don't want to single out any one because I don't know any of these places. But they've just found that people are looking to alternative-based methods of being able to transition from having a menstrual cycle to not and rebalancing their hormones. So let me just share you exactly from this, and then of course I will link it up as well. So this was in a survey of medical residents and family medicine, internal medicine and obstetrics and gynecology. Only 12 out of 177 respondents said they felt adequately prepared to manage the care of women going through menopause. Okay, this was in the Mayo Clinic proceedings in 2019. So if we look at it, that's less than 10%. All right. So, it's way less than 10%. So we're looking at what, like 5% or so? Okay. So we're looking at a small number of medical doctors, less than 1 out of 20, feel adequately prepared to help women with menopause. Okay. So there have been different places like a Canyon Ranch, let's say, that have opened up helping people and helping women on essentially menopause-based retreats in order to improve their symptoms. Okay, so I'm now going to read for you. Doctors who specialize in treating menopause symptoms say that some of the approaches touted at retreats, like certain vitamins, minerals, and herbs, and particular types of exercise, aren't backed by science. For example, there's no evidence that dietary supplements with symptoms like hot flashes for example, there's no evidence that dietary supplements help with symptoms like hot flashes, says Stephanie Fabian, medical director of the North American Menopause Society and the director of the Mayo Clinic Women's Health. Nor does exercise, she says, though it has other benefits for menopausal women. Nutrition advice is a popular topic at retreats, said Dr. Fabian, says there is some evidence that a vegetable and soy heavy diet that promotes weight loss may reduce the severity and frequency of hot flashes. Reducing stress may help as well, she notes. Okay, so basically just go on to say that there's no evidence, this direct quotes, say that some of the approaches at retreats like vitamins, minerals, and herbs and particular types of exercise aren't backed by science. There's no evidence that dietary supplements help with hot flashes. Okay, so I said, all right, my wife shared that with me. I think she does it sometimes to get me going a little bit, but that's okay. And so, here's what I said. All right, if Dr. Fabian says that there's none of these things backed by science, well, there's either two issues here. So one, she knows that there's science backing these things up and is just so concerned with the ego of conventional medicine that she doesn't want to share that something else could work. Or two, she actually doesn't bother to do any of the research because she's so infatuated of helping people through pharmaceutical interventions only. I can't see any other way because these things are not difficult to find. We've been helping women with infertility, menopause, estrogen dominance, PCOS, and any other female hormone-based issue in the past. I talk about all of them at my female hormones rebalancing course. That's at stephencabral.com/courses. Again, that's just in a nutshell all of the different research. What I want to share with you here today, though, is the evidence that does show that all of these things do work. And just because I want women and men to know that there's always an answer. And we've always had the ability to help women with menopause. And so for Dr. Fabian to say these things, especially as the medical director of the North American Menopause Society and the director of the Mayo Clinic Women's Health, for this person to come out and say these things, when I'm about to share with you the direct research from PubMed, is very disturbing. Because again, there's an agenda. But the problem is conventional medicine is losing ground very, very quickly. People have lost faith, especially over the last 2 years, in conventional medicine. They refuse to admit the benefits of eating well. They refuse to admit the benefits of moving the body. They refuse to help people with sleep through natural-based means, to reduce stress, through obviously supplements work, obviously. It's why the industry continues to grow. Now, are there unscrupulous and dishonest organizations? Of course. But again, just choose a functional medicine-based brand, whatever one you like. But they're out there, and they're all backed by science as well. It's not like conventional medicine thinks that they own science. No, science is impartial. Now, over the last 2 years, they've used science to really do a number on people's psyche. Because science is meant to be impartial. It's meant to be questions. It's meant to be followed up. You're meant to do continued research until something is proven. And even when it's proven, it's still trying to be put through the rigors of real science. And that is not what a lot of what conventional medicine is doing. They are not out to help people. They are out to promote pharmaceutical drugs in conventional medicine. That's really it. Because if they were out to help people, they would obviously share with them the articles I'm going to share with you right now. So let's get started. The first one is this: black cohosh. Black cohosh is an herb that has been used for thousands of years in Ayurvedic medicine and traditional Chinese medicine and many different types of medicine around the world. Here's the first PubMed study that says the effects of black cohosh on the regulation of estrogen receptors and progesterone receptors in breast cancer cells. And if people know about the dangers of breast cancer, it is much more likely as a woman as a woman begins to go through menopause and after. And it talks about in this very large article about how it begins to act as an adaptogen and regulate estrogen and progesterone to healthy levels. Let me just give you a couple more though. Black cohosh. This is directly again from PubMed. Again, PubMed is a peer-reviewed, science-based, published research storehouse of all of the science out there. Okay, so this is again from PubMed. Black cohosh is most commonly used for menopausal symptoms, including hot flashes. It's the first one. Also called hot flushes and night sweats, together known as vasomotor symptoms. It's also helpful for vaginal dryness, heart palpitations, tinnitus, vertigo, sleep disturbances, nervousness, and irritability. Okay, so again, that's on PubMed. Dr. Fabian either knew about it and decided to blatantly, I don't want to say lie, but cover it up, or doesn't do the research because it's right there. Maybe just doesn't know the herbs. I don't know. I mean, that's very possible. You don't study herbs in medical school. That's okay. So let's look at the next one. Another one is hops. And I'm going to give you a full ingredients list in just a moment. Hops, okay? Hops contains phytoestrogens. Well, any food or herb that contains phytoestrogens will help to naturally boost estrogen levels, right? So as a woman's body is making less estrogen and relying on just DHEA from the adrenals and a few other factors to make a little bit of estrogen after menopause or during menopause and after post-menopause, other things can help, such as herbs, which have been used for thousands of years, and certain foods. Why? They contain weaker but estrogen mimickers called phytoestrogens, sometimes also called isoflavones. These are plant-based compounds that mimic the action of estrogen. These supplements can help with menopausal symptoms such as hot flashes, sleep disturbances, fatigue, and vaginal dryness. Okay, so that's hops. Let's go to the next one. The next one's red clover. All right, red clover is another herb that's been shown to help with osteoporosis. And osteoporosis begins when? Mainly after a woman goes through menopause. Okay? Why? Red clover contains isoflavones, which is a type of phytoestrogen. And many studies, this one, 2015, was found that taking 37 milligrams of this specific isoflavone from red clover helped with osteoporosis, right? Very straightforward. Again, many studies. All right, let's just go over another one. May help with hot flashes. This was 40 to 80 milligrams per day of red clover. And there was a reduction of severe symptoms by 30 to 50%. Another one, there was a decrease in 73% of hot flashes within 3 months. It also helps with skin health and hair health during menopause, again, because of low estrogen-based levels, and heart health. So women have almost no real risk for heart-based disease until they start to go through menopause and after. 12% decrease in LDL cholesterol, pretty impressive after 1 year. And then also within 4 to 12 months, an increase in good cholesterol. So many other claims, but that's on red clover. Let's just go over just a couple more. All right, this one is on rhubarb. Rhubarb, food, not too many people like it, but you can certainly take it as an extract as well. All right, so this was done in 2006. So the Wall Street Journal article written this year. Okay, so many years ago, this was also known. I've been using this in my practice since 2010. Okay, so this has been around a long time. So the results were published in the journal Menopause. It just seems to me that the director of the North American Menopause Association and the head of Mayo Clinic, which I think is a very reputable organization, knows hopefully about the journal called Menopause. And it showed that the treatment with rhubarb extract significantly reduced the frequency and severity of hot flashes in perimenopausal women compared with the placebo. This was a double-blind placebo study, okay? And it was done for 12 weeks, which means they got the results within 12 weeks, okay? Researchers found a clear decrease in the number hot flashes and symptoms in women who took the rhubarb extract. A difference in response to treatment was evident within the first 4 weeks compared to the placebo. Let me just shorten this study for you. Also, at the end of the study, women treated with the rhubarb extract also reported improvements in overall quality of life. About half of the women, let's see here, I will link this up for you. It was somewhere around between 70 and 80% reduction. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. So, again, this is straight from the Journal of Menopause. In 2006, the results published in the journal showed treatment with rhubarb extract significantly reduced the frequency and severity of hot flashes in perimenopausal women compared with the placebo. And if we go back to that original article, the direct quote was, for example, there's no evidence that dietary supplements help with symptoms like hot flashes. That was the direct quote. Pretty disturbing if you ask me, because you know what? A lot of people read the Wall Street Journal. A lot of people read the media much more than podcasts. Let me just give you a couple more. This one's Chase Treeberry, and then again, I'll give you the full list. It's been proven to help with PMS, menstrual disorders, infertility, acne, menopause, nursing difficulties. Okay? Let's go through some of the studies. Also, in terms of PMS, helping with constipation, irritability, depressed mood, migraines, breast pain, and tenderness. Okay, but let's go straight to menopause because that's what we're talking about here today. All right, so this one given to menopausal women, improved menopause symptoms, including better mood and sleep, and some even regain their period, right? I mean, that's pretty remarkable. Now, I'm not saying women are looking to regain their period, but what happens is women go into early menopause when they actually weren't meant to go into menopause yet because their progesterone levels drop so low and their hormone levels overall. Okay, also noted that it improves symptoms such as night sweats and hot flashes. And I'm pretty sure that was a direct quote saying that those things actually can't be fixed. All right, I'm going to stop going through all the different studies. I've got another one that called Black Cohosh and Chase Treeberry, herbs valued by women for centuries. But let me just give you the list. All right, here are the herbs that have been proven to help with menopause and any type of female hormone imbalance. Bacopa, Black Cohosh, Dong Quai, Gotu-kola, hops, red clover, sage, schisandra, which I just talked about last Friday on the podcast, kudzu. All right, the other list is this. That one's for estrogen. This one's mainly for progesterone. Black cohosh, chase tree, Coleus forscoli, cramp bark, dong quai, passion flower, Chinese peony, wild yam, and Ligusticum wallacei. All right, so that is the list for both estrogen and progesterone. I can't actually link those up. That's unfortunate. I can't do that because FDA regulations do not allow me to link up to nutritional supplements. You can go to stephencabral.com/shop. Just type in estrogen support or type in progesterone support. You will see both of those. Just look at the ingredient list. You can get them anywhere you choose. They're sold everywhere. They're natural herbs. There's no patents on them. Okay. The other thing is this. You can actually test your levels if you're going through menopause and see which one you might need a little bit of a natural boost on through foods, through sleep, de-stressing, and through these herbs as needed. Again, that's at stephencabral.com/hormones-test. The reason why I did today's show is not to disparage anyone. It's to let you know that you have to be careful what you read. I also want you to understand that there's always an underlying root cause. There's always an answer. If I can help in any way, please do let me know. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Thank you so much. All of the research links will be at stephencabral.com/2434. stephencabral.com/2434 for all the links. Take care, everybody.